Cathy moved into a new way of connecting with social media friends with the events of COVID-19. She decided that she would lay down her perfection bone and pick up her perfecting presence. Too often, we hold ourselves back from success because we are too busy finding our own limitations. Perfecting, not perfection. Perfecting, not perfection, Cathy Needham. Take it away, Cathy.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Perfecting, not perfection. I have wanted to have a social media presence for a long time, and I could find all the reasons why that wasn't going to work. Maybe I would stumble over a word, and so I'd have to delete it because obviously you can't make a mistake. And I would think this would be a great idea to share. And then I'd be like, no, but I should share that first. Oh, wait, I might share that first. And so I would quit and go to the kitchen for a chip. I became obsessed with the ways that I could not get it right. So honestly, when COVID-19 moved in and I started watching on social media my feed of friends, and I saw the agitation that was there and the fear and the angst and all of those things. And I thought, you know, I have ideas I could share. And I thought, yeah, but what's the first one? And then I just thought, you know what? Who cares? Nobody's going to say you didn't share the right one first. They're going to say, maybe that helped me. And I'll be honest and say, because of my business, I had hoped to drive some interest in what I do for a living. So I wasn't completely altruistic. So why? I wanted to help and serve others, giving them ideas that would help to build them during this difficult time. I ended up actually expanding on that and doing other things. I shared poetry that I write. I shared former Toastmasters speeches that I just redid again on my video. I shared Just a Thought by Cathy, and I shared a funny thing happened on the way to, and shared thoughts and ideas there. And I shared book reports because I love to read. I'm in your boat, Braden. I love to read, and I wanted to share with others the many things that are there for us to learn by just reading a book. And so I became kind of obsessed with sharing things. There was my why. Some of the tools I used, and I'm so grateful to Richard because he's agreed to help me with this. I couldn't make it all work out. So Richard, if you wouldn't mind sharing that, I would like to share with you some of the tools that I use. First off, you'll see that I have a lovely music stand, which is what holds my iPad that I'm videoing with right now. The lamp is my lovely light bar, and the small end table underneath brings the music stand up to a height without making it tippy, flippy, floppy. There's my tools, and that's my spare bedroom, or as my husband calls it, the recording studio. Thank you. Next one. So some of the videos, as I mentioned, are the videos that I do where I use my easel and I speak about some of the thoughts that I have. Next one. When I also do still videos, and so I find quotes or poetry. I use a site called Unsplash, which allows you a plethora of amazing photos for free. You can identify who took the picture, but it's not a requirement. And so I created this spot to give a thought about inclusion and why we all matter. And that was how I did that. And you'll notice my business name at the bottom there, energyunfolding.com. And then finally, I'll just quickly show you a shot. Well, Richard will, because he's being me right now. Those are my different sites. I use Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I have a presence on there. Thanks so much, Richard. I so appreciate you helping me with that. Those are my tools. My results. It was interesting I'll say that I didn't quite get what I thought that I was going to get. I had connections with old friends arise because of my videos. And honestly, one of them did actually become a client. Have I had a plethora of clients pour in? No. And honestly, there are some days, because this takes time and it takes thought, and you got to wear different clothes. I actually got smart, and I actually video generally my week ahead, but I put a different shirt on every time. Otherwise, you'd think Cathy just did those all together. And I want to create the illusion that I'm actually spending a long period of time, which I am. It's kind of like writing a summary. You put way more into it than actually what it shows up on the other end. But there are days when I think, you know what, this just isn't worth it. I haven't got people lined up at my door. It's not driving my business. And then someone reaches out and says, I wish you would do those every day. I take it on my walk and I listen to you every day. And my mom says, I watched your video on this book. I loved it. I even got to reminisce about a story recently about flying to Mississippi for lunch when I lived in Kansas. And so there are great memories that have come for me. And honestly, when you read a book and you talk about it, it actually helps you to drive some of the things that you learn from it. So the results weren't what I thought they would be to begin with. And yet to me, they have expanded and grown. They've blessed my life in ways that I would never have expected. And most importantly, I quit worrying about being perfect. And I just worked on perfecting. I want to be better, not perfect. And so my social media presence is about learning, it's about sharing, lifting, speaking my thoughts, my views, and who I am. And is that not the most important thing about social media? I think it is. Madam Toastmaster.